Imagine giving your best performance and never stepping off the stage again. Dive into the lives of 25 iconic artists whose careers ended in the most unexpected act, death in the spotlight. Number 25. Molière, 1673. Did you know that the legendary playwright Molière performed in a play about illness before succumbing to his own? What happened next is stranger than fiction. Molière, the genius behind classics like Tartuffe and The Misanthrope, was performing his play The Imaginary Invalid when he began coughing violently on stage. The play's irony couldn't be more biting. Molière was portraying a hypochondriac. Despite visibly struggling, the consummate professional insisted on finishing the performance. After the curtain dropped, his health rapidly deteriorated, and he passed away just hours later. Legend has it that Molière's refusal to leave the stage was both an act of dedication and superstition. During this time, theater actors were often denied a Christian burial. Number 24. Armand Castelmary, 1897. Imagine a seasoned opera singer delivering a powerful performance, only to collapse mid-scene. This was the fate of Armand Castelmary. On February 10, 1897, French bass Armand Castelmary was performing at New York City's Metropolitan Opera House in Frederick von Flatau's Martha. During the final of Act I, Castelmary suffered a heart attack on stage. The audience, believing his collapse to be part of the performance, applauded as the curtain fell. Tragically, he died in the arms of his friend tenor Jean de Resky after the curtain was lowered. The performance resumed with Giuseppe Cernusco substituting in the role of Sir Tristram. Number 23. Leonard Warren, 1960.
Voi tutti a me contro venite, tu.
Imagine delivering a powerful aria, only to have life imitate art in the most tragic way. That's exactly what happened to Leonard Warren. Leonard Warren, celebrated as one of America's premier baritones, was performing Verdi's La Forza del Destino at the Metropolitan Opera. In a haunting twist, he had just sung the line, "Morir tremenda cosa," to die a momentous thing, when he suddenly collapsed on stage. The audience, initially thinking it was part of the performance, soon realized the gravity of the situation. Despite immediate medical attention, Warren was pronounced dead shortly after. His unexpected death at the age of 48 years old sent shockwaves through the opera community. Number 22. Nick Menza, 2016. Picture a heavy metal concert. The energy is electric, and then, without warning, the drummer collapses mid-performance. This was the tragic end for Nick Menza. Nick Menza, former drummer for the iconic metal band Megadeth, was performing with his band OHM at the Los Angeles Club. During the third song of their set, Menza suffered a massive heart attack and collapsed on stage. Despite immediate efforts to revive him, he was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. Menza's sudden death at 51 shocked fans and fellow musicians alike. Number 21. Chung Ling-soo, 1918. Picture a magician performing a daring bullet catch illusion, only for it to go fatally wrong. This was the tragic end for Chung Ling-soo. On March 23, 1918, American-born magician William Ellsworth Robinson, known by his stage name Chung Ling-soo, was performing at the Wood Green Empire in London. His signature act involved catching bullets fired from rifles. That evening, due to a mechanical failure, the gun discharged a real bullet, striking him in the chest. Breaking character, he exclaimed, "Oh my God, something's happened! Lower the curtain!" He was rushed to the hospital but succumbed to his injuries the next day. Number 20. Richard Versailles, 1996. Imagine delivering a line about life's brevity, only to have fate underscore its moments later. Such was the eerie final act of tenor Richard Versailles. On January the 5th, 1996, Versailles was performing at New York's Metropolitan Opera in Janáček's The Markopoulos Case. Portraying the character Vitek, he climbed a ladder and sang the line, "You can only live so long." Tragically, immediately after, he suffered a heart attack and fell from the ladder onto the stage. The audience, initially unaware of the gravity, soon realized the tragedy unfolding before them. Versailles was swiftly transported to St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His ultimate demise at 63 years old was a profound loss to the opera community. Number 19, Brandon Lee, 1993.
Hey! Hi!
What are you doing tonight? Yeah, waiter, 5 beers here.
Imagine a film scene where a character is shot, only to discover the actor was fatally wounded in reality. This tragic irony befell Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee, son of martial arts legend Bruce Lee, was on the cusp of stardom, portraying Eric Draven in The Crow. During a pivotal scene, a prop gun mishap led to a real bullet fragment striking Lee. Unbeknownst to the crew, a dummy bullet had lodged in the barrel during a previous scene. When a blank round was fired, it propelled the lodged bullet into Lee's abdomen. He was rushed to the hospital, but succumbed to his injuries after 6 hours of surgery. Number 18, Steve Irwin, 2006. Picture a fearless wildlife expert meeting an unexpected end from a usually docile creature. Such was the fate of Steve Irwin. Known globally as the crocodile hunter, Irwin was filming Ocean's Deadliest in Australia's Great Barrier Reef. While snorkeling, he approached a stingray to capture footage. Suddenly, the stingray struck back, its barb piercing Irwin's chest and heart. Despite immediate efforts by his crew, Irwin died swiftly from the injury. Irwin's death at 44 years old shocked the world, as stingray attacks are rare and fatalities even rarer. Number 17, John Ritter, 2003.
I only hurt myself once on the show where I was supposed to be with Joyce DeWitt and chaperone her because this guy...
Imagine a beloved TV dad filming a sitcom scene, only to be struck by a sudden, fatal ailment. Such was the tragic end of John Ritter. On September the 11th, 2003, John Ritter was on set filming a sitcom, 8 Simple Rules.
Tired of expensive, low-effort script writers for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now.
When he began experiencing severe nausea and chest pain. Initially misdiagnosed with a heart attack, it was later discovered that he was suffering from an aortic dissection, a tear in the aorta's inner layer. Despite emergency surgery, Ritter passed away that evening at the age of just 54 years old. Ritter's unexpected death shocked fans and colleagues alike. Kaylee Cuoco, his co-star on 8 Simple Rules, recalled the day with profound sadness, noting the impact he had on everyone around him. Number 16, Tommy Cooper, 1984. Imagine a comedian collapsing on live television, with the audience believing it's part of the act. This was the tragic final performance of Tommy Cooper. On April the 15th, 1984, during a live broadcast of Live from Her Majesty's, British comedian and magician Tommy Cooper suffered a heart attack mid-performance. Known for his comedic persona and trademark fez, Cooper collapsed on stage, prompting laughter from the audience who thought it was a planned gag. However, as the reality set in, the show cut to a commercial break, and Cooper was rushed to Westminster Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Number 15, Owen Hart, 1999.
Are successfully able to argue to keep the lawsuit in Kansas City. However, this is a small victory in a much larger...
Imagine a wrestling stunt going horribly wrong, leading to a real-life tragedy in front of thousands. That's the heartbreaking story of wrestler Owen Hart. On May the 23rd, 1999, during the WWF's Over the Edge pay-per-view event in Kansas City, Missouri, Owen Hart was set to make a dramatic entrance from the rafters as his blue blazer persona. The stunt involved being lowered into the ring via a harness and grapple line. Tragically, the equipment malfunctioned, causing Hart to fall approximately 78 feet into the ring. The audience, both in the arena and watching at home, was initially unaware of the severity of the situation, thinking it was part of the show. However, it quickly became evident that this was a real and devastating accident. Despite immediate medical attention, Hart succumbed to his injuries. He was just 34 years old. Number 14, Charles Francis Coughlin, 1899. Imagine a celebrated actor who found his final curtain call far from the stage. This was the mysterious fate of Charles Francis Coughlin. Charles Coughlin, an Irish-American stage actor, fell ill during a performance in Galveston, Texas in 1899. He passed away shortly thereafter, far from his native home. His body was placed in a metal coffin, intended for burial in Canada. However, a devastating hurricane struck Galveston, causing massive flooding. The storm swept Coughlin's coffin out to sea, where it disappeared. Years later, in 1908, a fisherman in Prince Edward Island discovered a coffin washed ashore. It was identified as Coughlin's, nearly completing an 8,000-mile journey back to his birthplace. This incredible story added a layer of intrigue to his legacy, with some dubbing it the actor's final voyage home. Number 13, Sid James, 1976.
Yep. You haven't started. You've just finished one, though. What was it?
Carry On, Henry. All those lovely wives.
Imagine a comedy legend delivering his lines only to suddenly fall silent, leaving the audience in stunned confusion. Such was the tragic final act of Sid James. On April the 26th, 1976, during a performance of the comedy The Mating Season at the Sunderland Empire Theatre, British actor and comedian Sid James suffered a fatal heart attack on stage. Known for his roles in the Carry On films, James was delivering his lines when suddenly he collapsed. Co-star Olga Lowe initially thought he was playing a prank, a testament to his comedic reputation. However, as he remained unresponsive, it became clear something was terribly wrong. Despite immediate medical attention, James was pronounced dead at the scene. He was 62 years old. Number 12, Gareth Jones, 1958. Imagine an actor stepping off stage only to face a real-life crisis that leaves the cast scrambling to keep the show alive. This was the unprecedented challenge during Gareth Jones' final performance. On November the 30th, 1958, Welsh actor Gareth Jones was performing in the live television play Underground, part of the Armchair Theatre series. Portraying a character who dies of a heart attack, Jones tragically suffered a real heart attack off-camera between scenes. The cast and crew, unaware of the severity, continued the performance, improvising around his unexpected absence. Jones' sudden death at 33 marked a somber moment in television history. Number 11, Dimebag Darrell Abbott, 2004. Imagine a concert erupting into chaos as a gunman storms the stage, targeting the lead guitarist. This horrifying scenario unfolded for Dimebag Darrell Abbott. On December the 8th, 2004, during a performance with his band Damage Plan at the El Rosa Village nightclub in Columbus, Ohio, Darrell Abbott was shot multiple times by a deranged fan who rushed the stage. The attacker, Nathan Gale, was reportedly upset over Pantera's breakup and blamed Abbott for it. The shooting resulted in the deaths of Abbott and 3 others, with several more injured before Gale was fatally shot by a responding police officer. Number 10. Les Harvey, 1972. Imagine a guitarist reaching for the microphone, only to be struck down by a lethal jolt of electricity. This was the tragic fate of Les Harvey. On May 3, 1972, while performing with his band Stone the Crows at the top-ranked suite in Swansea, Wales, Les Harvey was electrocuted on stage. He touched a microphone that was not properly grounded, while his other hand was on the strings of his guitar, creating a fatal circuit. Despite immediate attempts to assist him, Harvey was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. Harvey was just 27 years old at the time. Number 9. Tyrone Power, 1958. Imagine a swashbuckling film star collapsing during a climactic duel scene. This was the tragic end for Tyrone Power. On November 15, 1958, while filming the epic Solomon and Sheba in Madrid, Spain, Power was engaged in a strenuous dueling scene with co-star George Sanders. After multiple takes, he suddenly collapsed, clutching his chest. Initially, the crew thought he was exhausted, but it became evident he was suffering a massive heart attack. Despite being rushed to a nearby hospital, Power was pronounced dead en route. He was 44 years old. Number 8. Johnny Ace, 1954. Picture a rising R&B star engaging in backstage antics, leading to a fatal accident. This was the tragic demise of Johnny Ace. On Christmas Day in 1954, during a concert break at Houston City Auditorium, 25-year-old Johnny Ace was reportedly playing with a .22 caliber revolver. Accounts suggest he was either demonstrating Russian roulette or carelessly handling the firearm when it discharged, striking him in the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Ace's ultimate death shocked the music world, as he was at the peak of his career with hits like Pledging My Love. Number 7. Al Kelly, 1966. Imagine a comedian delivering a flawless performance, only to collapse moments later amidst applause. Such was the final act of Al Kelly. On September 7, 1966, vaudeville comedian Al Kelly, renowned for his double-talk routines, was performing at the Friars Club roast of Joe E. Louis in New York City. After a set, which was met with roaring laughter and a standing ovation, Kelly returned to a seat on the dais. As he acknowledged the applause, he suddenly collapsed. Despite immediate medical attention, Kelly was pronounced dead upon arrival at Roosevelt Hospital. He was 69 years old. Number 6. Louis Vierne, 1937. Picture an esteemed organist performing in a grand cathedral, only to have his final note coincide with his last breath. This was the fate of Louis Vierne. On June 2, 1937, Louis Vierne, the principal organist at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, was giving his 1,750th organ recital. During the performance, as he prepared to play his final improvisation, Vierne suffered a heart attack. He collapsed onto the organ pedals, producing a dissonant sound that resonated through the cathedral. Despite the immediate presence of a student, Maurice de Ruffel, who was assisting with the stops, Vierne could not be revived. He was 66 years old. Number 5. Ken Snakehips Johnson, 1941. Imagine a jazz band leader captivating a wartime audience, only for tragedy to strike mid-performance. This was the fate of Ken Snakehips Johnson. On March the 8th, 1941, during the height of the Blitz in World War II, Ken Snakehips Johnson was performing with his West Indian Dance Orchestra at London's Café de Paris. The venue was renowned for its vibrant atmosphere, offering Londoners a brief respite from the war's hardships. That evening, as Johnson led his band, a German bomb struck the building, causing massive destruction. Johnson was among the 34 individuals who lost their lives in the attack that day. Number 4. Ali Khan Samsudin, 2006.
Sadly, after years of doing this, one cobra decided it had enough of the Snake King and bit him fatally back in 2000.
Picture a renowned snake charmer, celebrated for his daring feats, succumbing to the very danger he courted. This was the end for Ali Khan Samsudin. Known as Malaysia's Snake King, Ali Khan Samsudin gained fame in the early 1990s by living with 400 cobras for 12 hours a day over 40 days. He further showcased his fearlessness by spending 21 days in a glass enclosure with 6,000 scorpions, earning him a spot in the 1998 Guinness Book of World Records. Tragically, on December 1, 2006, during a performance in Kuala Lumpur, Samsudin was bitten on the left hand by a king cobra. Despite his extensive experience and previous survival of numerous bites, this one proved fatal. He passed away 3 days later at the age of 48 years old. Number 3. Julian Arnold, 2024.
I've actually been playing guitar for a long time. I started playing when I was 15, classical.
Imagine a seasoned actor captivating an audience, only to have the performance take a tragic turn. This was the heartbreaking reality for Julian Arnold. On November the 24th, 2024, during a performance of A Christmas Carol at the Citadel Theatre in Edmonton, Alberta, Canadian stage actor Julian Arnold suffered a medical emergency on stage. Despite prompt medical attention, Arnold was pronounced dead at the scene. He was 60 years old. Arnold was a cherished figure in Edmonton's theatre community, known for his roles in productions such as The Wizard of Oz, Beauty and the Beast, and A Midsummer Night's Dream. His sudden passing left colleagues and audiences in profound shock and sorrow. The Citadel Theatre dedicated the season's run of A Christmas Carol to his memory, honoring his significant contributions to the arts. Number 2. J.I. Rodale, 1971.
Times a year, but nearer the event it would happen frequently. Somebody would say, "I'll never forget."
Imagine a health advocate proclaiming his vitality, only to pass away moments later on live television. This was the ironic fate of J.I. Rodale. J.I. Rodale, a pioneering figure in the organic food movement and founder of Prevention magazine, appeared on The Dick Cavett Show on June 7, 1971. During the interview, he boasted about his health, stating he intended to live to 100. Shortly after, while another guest was being interviewed, Rodale made a snoring sound and slumped in his chair. Host Dick Cavett initially thought he was asleep, but it quickly became apparent that Rodale had suffered a fatal heart attack. The episode was never aired, and a rerun was shown in its place. Number 1. Robert Edison, 1991. Picture a Shakespearean actor delivering his final monologue, only to succumb to a fatal collapse moments later. This was the tragic end for Robert Edison. Renowned for Shakespearean roles and known to wider audiences as the Grail Knight in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Edison had a celebrated career on stage and screen. During a live performance of King Lear in 1991, he portrayed the Fool, a role known for its emotional depth and poignancy. Tragically, during one of his monologues, he suddenly collapsed on stage. Despite immediate medical assistance, Edison was pronounced dead, leaving both cast and audience in shock. His death was seen as a poetic end for an actor who lived for the stage. If you found this video engaging, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our other videos for more intriguing stories from the world of entertainment. Thanks for watching.